The sun beat down on the tin roof of a small garage on the edge of town. Inside, surrounded by rusted parts and oil stains, Tommy wiped sweat from his brow and leaned under the hood of a 1990 pickup. His hands were calloused, his overalls worn, and the scent of grease never seemed to leave his skin. But Tommy loved what he did, even if his customers were few and far between. That morning had started like any other, until a sleek, midnight blue luxury car rolled up and parked outside the garage. The vehicle was spotless, clearly worth more than the entire shop. A tall, well-dressed man stepped out, irritation written across his face. "You the mechanic?" he asked, looking around as if hoping someone better would appear. Tommy nodded. "I am. What seems to be the trouble?" The man opened the hood. "It won't start. The transmission locks up. I've had it in 3 different shops. Nobody can fix it. One guy even said it needed to be shipped back to Germany." Tommy gave a low whistle and leaned in. "Mind if I take a look?" The man crossed his arms. "Be my guest, but don't get your hopes up." Tommy took his time, ignoring the man's impatience. He touched the engine block, turned a few belts by hand, listened as he asked the man to try the ignition. To most, it looked like fumbling. But to Tommy, it was a conversation, a language only a mechanic with heart and intuition could understand. 50 minutes passed, then an hour. Then Tommy stood up, wiping his hands. "You've got a micro crack in the relay module near the fuel injection system," he said. "Not big enough to register on diagnostics, but big enough to throw the whole system out of sync. That's why the engine's not getting the right fuel-air mix." The man blinked. "And you figured that out by touch?" Tommy shrugged. "And sound." He rummaged through a pile of scrap and pulled out an old part. "This'll work for now. I'll custom fit it." An hour later, the engine started. Not just started, but purred. Smooth, clean, perfect. The man stood there, stunned. "You actually fixed it?" Tommy smiled. "Just needed someone to listen." There was a pause. The man looked around the small garage, clearly trying to process what had just happened. "How much do I owe you?" $50, Tommy said, "and I'll waive it if you bring me a cup of black coffee next time." The man nodded slowly, then got in the car and drove away without another word. Tommy didn't think much of it. Just another day, another fix, another car saved. What Tommy didn't know, what he couldn't have guessed, was that the man would be back, and next time he wouldn't just bring coffee, he'd bring something that would change Tommy's life forever. 3 days later, just before closing time, Tommy was finishing a brake job on an old minivan when the same sleek, midnight blue car pulled up again. Only this time, it wasn't alone. Behind it came a black SUV, then another high-end vehicle. Tommy wiped his hands and stepped out, curious. The tall, well-dressed man stepped out once more, but this time he wasn't alone. 2 men in suits followed, one holding a clipboard. The man walked right up to Tommy, smiling. "You remember me?" Tommy chuckled. "Hard to forget. How's the car?" "Running like a dream," he said. "Better than ever. Turns out you saved me a fortune, and my company." "Company?" Tommy asked, now realizing there was more to the story. The man extended his hand. "I'm Daniel Cross, CEO of Cross Automotive Group. We design and manufacture luxury engines. The car you fixed, that was a prototype. No one, not even our engineers, could figure out the issue until you did. Alone, with scrap parts." Tommy stood stunned, shaking Daniel's hand. "I just did what I always do, listen to the machine." Daniel turned to his assistants. "This is the guy I told you about." The man with the clipboard stepped forward. "Mr. Cross would like to offer you a full-time position, head of diagnostics, 6 figures, full benefits, stock options, and your own custom shop at headquarters." Tommy blinked. "What?" "You heard me," Daniel said. "I don't need someone with a dozen degrees. I need someone who actually understands engines. You've got something special, Tommy." For a moment, Tommy looked around at his small garage, the peeling paint, the oil-soaked floor, the old radio that barely worked. This place had been his home, his world. But this was a chance to build something bigger. He hesitated. I appreciate the offer, Mr. Cross, but I don't want to leave everything behind. Daniel smiled. That's why we want to invest in this place too. Make it a partner shop. We'll renovate it, supply new tools, even send our engineers here to learn from you. You stay, you grow, and you teach. Now Tommy's heart raced. A poor mechanic who'd lived hand to mouth for years, now being offered not just a job, but a legacy. He nodded slowly. All right, I'm in. Daniel clapped him on the back. Good man, get ready. This little garage of yours is about to make history. Within weeks, the shop was transformed. New signage, new equipment, and mechanics from across the state came to train under Tommy. His name became a quiet legend in the automotive world, not because of degrees or awards, but because he listened when machines spoke. Tommy never let it change him. He still charged $50 for small fixes, still brewed coffee on a rusted old pot in the back. But every time he looked at the sleek blue car parked out front, he smiled, because it reminded him that sometimes a life-changing opportunity doesn't come in a suit. It comes with dirty hands and a heart that never quits.